Hey, what's up guys, Coley Wooly here, and today I'm going to bring you guys the Clash Royale guide for you level 6 to 7 players out there as the third video in my series of this. So next one will be the guide for like 8, 9, and 10 players. But in this video, before I say anything else, let's see if we can smash 5 likes on this video. Let's see if we can make that happen. And also, if you would share this video, that'd be awesome too. Just tell all your friends to go like the video. That'd be so helpful. So now that we're gonna get into the video. But first of all, when you're at this level, you're not too far from being able to start doing challenges. But here's something you gotta note with challenges. Your cards, most people have their cards at tournament standard in the challenges, but you're not gonna be able to do that until you're about a level 9. And maybe a level 8 if you're really good at only upgrading the cards you use in your deck. Which, speaking of which, is a really important part, because now that you're getting farther into the game, you're gonna start to get to the point where you only you're gonna use 1 or 2 decks, and you're gonna get good at those decks. So my recommendations is try to find a deck where the card, if you're gonna keep one deck, don't always just use the cards that are super overpowered. You want to use a couple aspects. You want to use cards that are balanced, because if you use overpowered cards, you're risking the fact that those cards might get a huge nerf and they won't be as good anymore. So that's one thing. So you want to, as long as using cards that are balanced in the game, meaning they're not too overpowered but they're not too underused either. You also want to use cards that are a good counter to popular cards. So for example, let's say the meta was full of 3 Musketeers, which it kind of is right now, but I'm just giving an example. So if the meta was full of 3 Musketeers, you want to try to put a counter to 3 Musketeers in your deck, since a lot of people would be using them. For example, you could put Fireball in your deck, or maybe Bowler in your deck, or Valkyrie, or Rocket. Just anything that's good at countering 3 Musketeers, which makes sense, right? So, and that applies to any card that's really popular. So now that we've done that, the next thing we want to talk about is we're going to go back to the challenge part. So as you know, in challenges, your cards aren't going to be tournament standard when you get to level 8, which means you aren't going to be able to, I mean, you will be able to participate in them, but you're going to be at a disadvantage because your cards won't be leveled up all the way yet. So what you want to do is you want to either do classic challenges, where you aren't risking as many gems, as well as other low levels do this, so you won't be at a huge disadvantage. I mean, you still will, but not at a big one. And you also, if there's a special event challenge, look closely, because usually if it's a draft challenge, or a challenge where you make your own deck with any cards in the game, which will usually be the one-day troop challenges or any sort of draft challenge, then you want to always participate in those and try to get all the rewards, because those are really helpful at low levels. So, but again, you aren't quite there yet, but that's just what you want to know for the future. So next thing I'm going to be talking about is a few tips on offense. So I did talk about defense quite a lot in the last guide video, but now you want to know some important tips for offense. So first of all, you want to make sure you have a win condition in your deck, but you only want to have 1 or 2. And some decks can have 2 win conditions, but the majority will only have 1. But it can work with 2. It just depends. So again, a win condition is anything that's used to take down towers. For example, Giant, Golem, Hog Rider, Battle Ram, stuff like that. Or Royal Giant, like, even though I don't like that card. So yeah, anything like that is called a win condition because it's used to get to the towers and take them out. And you always need proper support for each one you want to use. So if you're using Hog Rider, for example, you wanna have cheap backup troops, because normally with Hog Rider you're gonna have either like a cycle, which is most common, or you can have like a bait too. And that's another type, or archetype I should say. So for example, a good synergy with Hog Rider, and synergy is usually when 2 cards go really good together. You'll often hear that term a lot, especially in higher levels. You want to make sure that with Hog Rider, you're going to pair it up with something, let's say Fire Spirits, that's a good one, or Ice Spirit, that's also good. You can also pair it up with a bunch of other things, but now I'm going to talk about bait. So as you get more and more cards, using bait will be pretty good. But since people are unlocking his app, that's another counter to bait decks, as well as log, but that's probably not quite in your range yet. But yeah, bait is where you have, like, as you see in this replay right now, you have things like Goblin Barrel, Minion Horde, Skeleton Army, Miner Princess, so you probably won't unlock the Miner Princess yet. They're all bait cards because you have to use the same thing to counter most of the cards. Like, you have to use a zap to counter Minion Horde, but you also have to use a zap to counter Skeleton Army, which means they have to choose to use them on one or the other, and when they can't use it on one, the other is good at taking out the tower. And that's how it works. And it's pretty similar with all the cards, because there's other cards like Arrows or Fireball that also have that similar problem. And the only good counter to bait decks is the ones that have a lot of spells, so that way you can constantly use them all. But yeah, that's bait decks for you guys. So the next thing we're going to talk about is beatdown. And beatdown is a pretty popular archetype. And how beatdown works is you have a big tank with good supporting cards. But what you want to do is, in the first 2 minutes, you want to defend against pushes, although it's good to save your elixir a bit, so to sacrifice some damage on your tower, because the main goal is to make a deadly counter push and double elixir and take out your opponent's tower. And with a giant, which is a smaller tank, it's okay to make a push before double elixir, although you're probably only going to do that once, maybe twice. But with something big like a golem, you're going to be more likely to not want to drop it until double elixir. So the final thing we're going to be talking about in this small portion is just a little more defending, because you want to make sure you pull troops when possible. And when you pull troops, that's usually dropping your troops towards the middle of your side instead of right in front of the troop you're defending against, which is basically any melee troop. But if it's a ranged troop, they're not going to just chase after stuff, so which means that's the time when you want to place them right in front. And Orange Juice has a video explaining this all, so I'll link that in the description. But anyways, this will be it for the guide, so hope you guys enjoyed. Please like, comment, subscribe, turn on those post notifications. Don't forget to share the video to all your friends so they can see it as well. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace out, everyone.